Yo, I got a banger video today. This is the story about the first time I ever took heroin. This was the first time I ever did this shit, and I just got out of a rehab like 2 months before for benzos, and I got a couple Klonopins off this one dude, like 12 milligrams, which is a fuck ton. I was like pretty loaded off these Klonopins, but at the same time, I still had a tolerance because of the Xanax that I've been taking prior. So I didn't get too high off these Klonopins, and I was pretty bummed out. And I decided I'm gonna hit up this one dude that I knew from school. He was like the only dude that would be dealing this shit, and of course he had it. So I hit him up. I asked him for some dope, and he had it. I got like one bundle of this shit for like $70. Kinda taxing, I know, but I got this shit, and it came in, these white bags, no stamps on them, and looked inside. There was this nice brown, like this was real nice brown, swear to God. And I was feeling super reckless, so I decided I'm gonna just load this shit up in a needle and shoot it up for the very first time ever touching this stuff. And that's what I did. I grabbed a spoon. I hardly put any dope in the spoon because if I, first time going in with this shit, I didn't want to fucking die immediately. So I only did a little bit, and just that much was enough to get me feeling to the point where I could literally hear my voice slurring as I spoke. I was so high. I felt that warmth throughout my whole body. I was just falling over, slumped. And within like 5 minutes of that shit, my mom ended up coming in the room, seeing what I was doing, telling me to get the fuck up out of there. So I grabbed the needles and dope and I left, and I went to my buddy's house thinking, he got my back, but he really didn't have my back. I ended up hanging there for a little bit, and then, I could tell they didn't really want me there, so I left that place, and I was feeling hopeless, like I had nowhere to go. So what I ended up doing was I ended up downing one of these bags down my nose, sniffing like a whole bag of this shit. Meanwhile, this is still the first day I ever touched this, and this was when I was walking back home from this dude's house. I downed this bag down my nose, and I'm making my way up the front of my house, front steps. I get to the door, and I knock on it. My mom comes back. She comes to the door, trying to open it up, see what's going on, and immediately I fall out, dude. I fall out on the ground, fucking black the fuck out, ODing straight on the front porch. She fucking, thank God she called the paramedics and shit, saved my ass, and I got Narcan and shit. But they took the dope after they fucking picked me up, and eventually they left. There weren't no problems. I didn't get no charges or nothing, and they thought they grabbed all the shit. So but at that point my mom still didn't want me inside, so I still didn't have anywhere to go, and I had court in the morning, so I had somewhere to be. And I ended up going back with my buddy over there for a little bit, and after a while he told me I just gotta like try to apologize to her or something. So I tried doing that, telling her I'm sorry and whatnot, and I went back home and I told her that, and eventually she let me back in, and I had court the next day. But I don't think at the time anybody realized I still had that first bag that I used to shoot up with. I still had that sitting behind my TV hidden away, and I grabbed that shit and I did one more shot of that, and I got super high. Ended up calling my girl at the time just so I had someone to talk to, because I felt like I could just fall out right there if I was, because this was still my first time doing this shit. And so I just ended up riding the high out and went to bed and made it to court in the morning, thank God. And that's how this story went.